Welcome to another RiderCamTV video. Today we're in sunny Falmouth, heading back to Redruth. And I thought I'd just do a quick little chat about advanced riding. Now, I'm really over the moon that not only have I done my Institute of Advanced Motorcyclists advanced test and obtained a first, which was really good, but I've just last week completed my ROSPA Gold test, which is the Royal Society for the Protection of Accidents, and kind of like the alternative to the IAM, and I've achieved their highest, or one of their highest awards for riding, which is really, really great. And I know that there's a lot of people that think, what's the point in being an advanced rider? And for me, it's really simple. For me, there's a couple of reasons. The first one is that I want to arrive at home or at my destination in one piece and give myself the best possibility of achieving that. And two, I want to be able to make my ride more fun and enjoy it. And three, I want to meet more people on motorbikes, because there's no denying that people with bikes are just so nice. Obviously, you get good and bad in any community, but if you've got a motorbike, you're part of the club. It doesn't matter whether it's a scooter, whether it's a cruiser, whether it's an adventure bike, whatever it might be. The fact that you've got a motorbike puts you in the same club as other people with motorbikes. And when I first started riding my motorbike, I did what everybody else would do, took their normal test. For me, I took my direct access test because I was a little bit over the age group for being restricted, and they hadn't brought all that stuff in there. And from there, I then looked at going and bettering my riding, because I really found that I really enjoyed it. So I saw a thing called Bike Safe, which is predominantly run by police up and down the country, and it's a chance for you to go and have a bit of a classroom input about where you're looking on the road, why you're looking on the road, what you're looking for, what sort of things to be doing when you're riding or driving that might make you a safer and a better rider. And I enjoyed the Bike Safe that much that at the end of the second day, I had some really good feedback from the police officer that was following me. And we also had a talk from a couple of different people. One of them happened to be Cornwall Advanced Motorcyclists, which is part of the Institute of Advanced Motorcyclists down here in Cornwall. And I signed up that evening, and before I knew it, I was out with what they call an observer. So because I'd signed up, I became what they call an associate. And the associate is basically a learner, and you're learning to get to the stage for your test, get ready for your advanced test. And I was assigned an observer, and that observer turned out to be a really good friend, or it turned out to be a good friend from there on, obviously, because I didn't know him before. And they also had things like club days, so you'd go along and you'd learn about different parts of riding, cornering, braking, IPSGA, which I'm sure that you would have heard about if you're watching this video, which is the system of riding and the system of driving. So started building a lot of friends, got through my test, and then started riding abroad and riding on group rides with the club. And then I got interested in blood bikes and rode for blood bikes for a few years and became really involved with the blood bikes, which is an amazing thing. Check out my video on the blood bike RT up there. And then I met other friends. I met Mark. That's where we then decided to put the channel together and start working on different videos and things. And then from there, I met Felix from Magellan Tours, and then the rest, they say, is history. So because I'm riding my bike all the time, and I'm doing probably 12, 13, 15,000 miles a year. Mark's probably doing a little bit more because of all the trips that he's doing. And I just wanted to better my riding again. So I went and spoke to a couple of friends that were part of ROSPA in Cornwall, relatively new group. So for the IAM, you're talking about £165. And for that, you get membership to your local club for a year, membership to the IAM for a year, which is the national group. You also get your books, and they use a book called How to Be a Better Rider that explains things in plain English, plain language, so that you can understand it and you can work through with your observer. And you also get within that as many observed sessions with your tutor, if you like, until you're test ready. And you also get the test fee. Now for ROSPA, it's £45, or there's a whole host of different things that you can do, but roughly for about £100, I've had my observed sessions, and I've got my membership to the local club in Cornwall, and I've also got my test done. That pays for all of that. But on top of that, you get membership cards, as you would imagine with a membership of any sort, but you get a book called Roadcraft. Now, in my full-time employment, I work for an emergency service, and I have done for nearly 18, 19 years now. And throughout that time, I've had weeks and weeks and weeks of driver training, driving cars and vehicles through traffic, both at routine speed and also at response speed, with emergency lighting and equipment illuminating and sounding. So I came to advanced riding with quite a bit of knowledge, certainly around IPSGA, information, position, speed, gear, acceleration, which is the system of how you would ride and drive. And that was really good because I had IPSGA and all of that stuff compounded in my brain from the very start of my life in that emergency service, to the extent that I could think about where I put my bike and why I put my bike there on the road. Now, lots of people think that advanced riding is probably a group of middle-aged to older men, predominantly, in this closed group where you don't feel welcomed if you're an outsider, that they ride and they go, oh, you know, they're very anal about what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing on the road. And you know, my experience of both the IAM and ROSPA mean that you couldn't be further from the truth. Obviously, there is a common theme running through advanced riders, and that's about riding as best you can all the time, and arriving safely, and improving your ride every time you go out, picking up on mistakes, looking at your ride, reviewing it, that sort of thing. That doesn't mean that you're going to sit down in front of a TV or in front of a desk or a computer and go through your ride bit by bit. But there are things that, you know, we all make mistakes all the time, make mistakes and improve and learn on them. But I found both the IAM and the ROSPA groups really welcoming to people from all age groups, and I've started to notice that there are younger people getting involved with the advanced groups and taking their advanced tests. Now, it is a lot of training, it's a lot of effort for some people, you know, but it's a massive achievement to say, you know, I'm an advanced rider. It doesn't mean I'm any better than anybody else on the road, far from it, because I can make mistakes like anybody can make mistakes. But it just gives me the ability to be able to look a little bit further, take things a little bit easier perhaps, and not take so many risks, and weigh those risks up as to whether they're right or whether they're not right. What I'm trying to say is advanced riding isn't just for people that are old, it isn't for people that are just young. It's for anybody that rides a bike, drives a car, that wants to try and improve their riding, to improve the enjoyment of their riding, but also to be able to improve their response times in terms of reacting to something that's happening in front of them. So you'll probably hear people talking about different positions on the road, and there are There are a couple really good YouTube channels. One is Advanced Rider, and one is Nottingham Roadcraft. Really great channels, and they talk about the advanced riding and how to ride better, how to ride smoother. If you're interested in it, take a look, see what they do, see how they talk about it. But the system of advanced riding all revolves around IPSGA, as you've heard me say a few times. So every hazard, everything that you're doing on the road has information. Whether the information here is that there's a tight corner, so I would position my bike in a different place, perhaps alternate my speed to reflect what's going on, perhaps change my gear, perhaps use acceleration sense either to speed up or to slow down. So for everything, that IPSGA gives you the ability to be able to assess every single hazard that's on the road and on your trip. And I would describe advanced riding and advanced driving almost like having your eyes on full beam. I'm not knocking people, but like a lot of people that haven't had the advantage of having that extra training, they would perhaps be looking a little bit closer to the front of the vehicle. Whereas now that I'm here, I'm looking at those chevrons and I'm positioning my bike over to the left, and the road is very much split up. There are two schools of thought really. Is the road split up into three? So this would be position 1, this would be position 2, and this would be position 3. Now I like to go along the principle of splitting the road up into 5. So I've got 5 positions. So 1 would be over here and so on, and 5 would be on the crest of the road. So I've positioned myself in position 1 so that I've got the best opportunity to look around that corner to see whether there's anything that's going to get in my way or get me into trouble. So now that I'm here, I'm looking far and the road is dropping down ahead of me. I've got my lights on full beam, as I said, and now the road is dropping away, and I can take different information in, such as the telegraph poles. So the telegraph poles are showing me that now the road is veering to the right, and now it's going to veer to the left. So I'm going to go out to position 4 or position 5 near the crest of the road, just to give me that added ability to see round the corner. And I saw round the corner, and now the information I've got is that I've got to reduce my speed. And we'll probably talk about limit points at some point, but this is a really sharp bend, because the bend is getting tighter and tighter. So I'll go really slow here, and now it's opened up so I can put the power on and go again. Now the road goes around to the right here, so I'm going to position myself into position 1 or 2, stay near the inside of the road and follow it around. Now I can make a clean getaway from the corner if you like, but putting yourself into those positions means that you're more likely to be able to go around the corner more stably, or your bike is more stable going around the corner, but you're also able to make your bike do the things that you want it to do. So if you imagine a car, or in this case a bike, going around a corner or riding along, and you see a corner and you brake on the corner, not only are you asking the car or the bike to go around the corner, so the weight is going to the outside front tyre, but now you're braking, so you're only braking on 1 or 2 tyres effectively, because the weight is over those 2 and off the 2 that you really need the brakes on. But if you go in at the right speed and set yourself up first, then that means that the bike is going to go round the corner really stably, as opposed to like that. And that's where people kind of come a little bit unstuck, because when they brake on corners, they brake right at the wrong place on corners, which destabilizes that vehicle to the extent that they then start losing control. And then if you put bad weather on top of that, slippery surface, it's a recipe for disaster. And I'm of course not saying that, I'm never going to have an accident on a corner. Just hope I'm not going to. But by making your tyres do one thing or the other, either grip the road and stay there, or brake, you're giving yourself the best chance. The rubber will far exceed my capability and expertise on a bike, without doubt. without a doubt. You see it all the time on sports races on the track. I mean, they push things right to the limit and sometimes beyond, but on the road you're never going to do that. I really love riding my bike, and the one thing that I really love is the training that I've had, the constant training that I give myself when I'm out riding. And it really hit me once as to why this advanced riding is any good. And I went to see my family who live up near London, and obviously I'm down in Cornwall, and I want to take my bike. I don't want to be in a car, I want to take my bike. So I took the bike. And I went up the A303, which is a well-known road, and on the 303 I then needed to take left to head over to the town or city or town where my family lived. And I was trundling along this road doing 60, which was the national speed limit. I had a few really nice overtakes of a few cars and a couple of lorries. And I got into the town where my family live, and it suddenly hit me that I hadn't really given much thought to exactly what I was doing. And it scared me for a couple of minutes, and then I realised that the training that I'd had had allowed me to just ride that road without having to worry about what's that corner going to do. Oh no, I've broke at the wrong time. Now don't get me wrong, like I said, you can still make mistakes. But it was the first real time that I thought, you know, this advanced riding, it's quite a good lark, you know, because I really enjoyed it. The sun was out, everything was great. It was just perfect. So for me, advanced riding isn't about being old. It's not about being part of an elite club that nobody else is welcome in. Everybody is welcome. Provided you've got a motorbike and you ride and you want to learn, everybody's welcome. But the advantages to having or doing your advanced riding, I just think it just gives you the best chance of seeing hazards, seeing problems up ahead, and the best chance of getting home in one piece, whilst being part of an organisation and a club that's local to you, to get to know different people, to enjoy your ride, to ride with people, and this is a really good point, ride with people that you know exactly what they're going to be doing. So there's a corner coming up and they are doing exactly what you would be doing. Really great. So perhaps in future videos, let me know what you think in the comments down below, but perhaps in future videos we'll pick on different things, like we'll talk about IPSGA, we'll talk about how to read a corner, what are the limit points all about. If you want to hear about that, give me a shout out down in the box at the bottom. If you've liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.